Hello everybody. Today I want to talk to you about inflation across the world. In the United States, food inflation is a major issue, rent inflation is a major issue. The cost of living are going up quite a bit in most essential ways. The grocery store bill is out of control in so many states in the US. Rent prices are skyrocketing. And one of the main reasons people want to relocate, Americans want to relocate, as well as Europeans, is to flee the onerous and excessive costs of rent and food. It's just the wealthy countries that we're from, that we live in, are not as affordable as they used to be. However, other countries, say in South America, are cheaper, but they have their own issues with inflation. I want to discuss two different cases here. As a matter of fact, three. Argentina, Brazil, and Paraguay. I've lived in Brazil for 3 years, and I just came to Paraguay. And one of the reasons why I came to Paraguay is that it's a very stable economy. There is not much inflation. It's the lowest inflation in all of South America. On the other hand, Argentina has among the highest rates of inflation in South. In fact, the highest in the world, period. Not only does Argentina have the highest inflation in South America, it has the highest inflation in the world. Now, a lot of people came to Argentina back 2 years ago. So a lot of Russian expats, for example, fled their country and took off to Argentina. And one of the reasons Argentina was so attractive for so many foreigners is that the currency devaluation seemed to be favoring expats. And the reason being is that Argentina had two sets of exchange rates. The first exchange rate was the blue exchange rate, which is the unofficial rate. So I remember when I came to Argentina in March 2023, the official exchange rate was 400 pesos to $1, but the black market exchange rate was 1,000. So Argentina was affordable because of this difference, this discrepancy between the official exchange rate and the black market rate. So when I came to Puerto Iguazu on the triple border, I paid with my credit card. First I paid at the official exchange rate, which was 400 pesos for $1, and then the bank refunded me the difference between the official exchange rate and the black market rate. The black market rate was 1,000. It was 1,000 pesos for $1. So Argentina was so cheap because of this discrepancy that the dollar effectively shielded you from inflation, gave you protection from a currency devaluation in Argentina. And the more the peso declined, the more the richer the expats became. But then Javier Milei came into office, controversial libertarian president, and he basically merged the exchange rates. He eliminated this discrepancy, and now Argentina is suddenly very, very expensive. On my way to Paraguay by car, I stopped by in Argentina, and just a little lunch out for myself and my friend ended up costing us $160. So just a few beers, lots of meat and potatoes, and I paid $160. That's expensive even for the United States, but it used to be the case that Argentina was cheap. Oh, the moral of the story, the lesson being here is that don't fall for the fool's gold. It's a trap. If you want to go to a country where the currency is falling, where the dollar is suddenly worth a lot of money, and you feel you're getting richer, watch out. This is temporary. Sooner or later, inflation will catch up to you. Now, Turkey is yet another example. A lot of Europeans used to go to Turkey for their beach getaway instead of, say, Croatia or Italy. It seemed cheap. They spent euros or dollars. And by going to Turkey, they felt rich. But guess what? Sooner or later, inflation catches up to everybody. Turkey is now extremely expensive. Inflation bites. Inflation affects everybody. No matter what currency you use, there will be a day of reckoning, and that day will come sooner rather than later. And that brings me to my next point. What is the economic reason why I left Brazil? There are many reasons why I left Brazil. See my other videos. But the main economic reason why I left Brazil is that there is also currency devaluation. The Brazilian real is fallen in value. When I first came to Brazil in 2022, a dollar was worth like 4.7 reals. It hovered around 5 reals. And now it's 6.2. and the real keeps on falling. So before you get too excited thinking, hey, great, I mean, I can buy more reals than $1, I should be richer. No. Any expat who lived in Brazil for a while will tell you there is such a thing as shrinkflation. The products you order in restaurants and grocery stores will come a little smaller, but maybe at the same price. And inflation in Brazil, the official figure, is very, very understated. It's definitely not 5%, definitely not 7%. Anybody that you talk to will tell you that food inflation in Brazil is well over 30%, if not more. To give you an example, last year, I could easily pay 8 reals for a cup of coffee. Now it's 14. This is crazy. This is 75% inflation for coffee. I'm noticing that the restaurant bills are at least a good 30 to 40% more expensive. My experience in Brazil is that this currency devaluation made everything more expensive, not less expensive. The inflation, the real inflation for the basic stuff that you need, like food and rent, is just so much higher, so much larger than what you can expect to be compensated for in terms of the buying power of your dollar. Finally, Paraguay. In Paraguay, there's stability. People are coming to Paraguay from all over the world, not only from Brazil and Argentina, but from the United States, from Canada, from Northern Europe, even from Spain. People like how Paraguay is genuinely cheap. Paraguay is highly affordable because there is very little inflation. Paraguay is the country that I highly recommend, specifically because there is no currency devaluation. Yes, the currency is weak, but it is stable. And the president of Paraguay, Santiago Peña, is an economist by profession. He is very much open to creating a business-friendly environment, low taxes, low regulations. He's fiscally conservative, and that's great. This is what keeps Paraguay stable and affordable. I highly recommend that you avoid countries like Argentina or Turkey or Brazil, where there is this trap that seems so enticing to go there. It's fool's gold. The trap being that the currency is collapsing, so you suddenly feel richer and richer. But no. Haven't lived on the ground, haven't lived in Brazil, haven't known people who live in Turkey and in Argentina. Expats and locals alike will tell you that all three of these countries got more expensive for everybody because of currency devaluation. Inflation and currency devaluation are bad news for everybody. This is why I highly recommend a stable country like Paraguay.